Hey everyone, this is Hugh from Plaguelands Media, finally coming back after a little bit of a hiatus with another book review. Now, the reason that I have been away for so long, well, you know what? I'll just let Wayne tell you why.
I'm a little older. I'm a little wiser. I'm starting to get hair in really weird places, man. I feel like I'm turning into Sasquatch.
Okay, that was a lie for all you 90s folk out there. The reason actually I've been away, and because the lighting is so weird, I'm actually filming at night, which is very rare for me, is because my wife is actually in the hospital at the moment, and I've been spending all of my time there with her as she undergoes surgery and procedures and things like that. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to bring to you the book that I've been reading to her as she's been kind of laying in the hospital bed. I've been sitting next to her and reading this book. Okay, no, that's actually another lie altogether. I haven't been reading this book to her. I've been trying to read this book for the past 2 fucking weeks. And it's been a slog, and it's been a slog not because I don't enjoy it or I didn't enjoy the book. I actually enjoyed it immensely. It's been a slog because it's unlike anything that I've ever read from this author in this kind of universe. And that book is Enemy Contact by Mike Maden. This is a Jack Ryan Jr. novel in the Tom Clancy universe. And I'm going to pair this book up with a cat crying. Come on, Rio. What? Do you want to be part of it? No, now that I say that, you don't want to be part of it. I'm going to pair this book up. A great Tom Clancy-esque novel should go with a great craft beer Pilsner. This is a Soul Forest Pilsner. I've not done that in a while. Let's get straight on with my thoughts on Enemy Contact. That's what the fucking Pilsner does. Enemy Contact. You notice Tom Clancy's name is in big bold letters at the top and the author's name is in little letters at the bottom. As if we need to know. Any fans of the Tom Clancy universe will know Jack Ryan, and of course will know the Jack Ryan Jr. novel series. So without further ado, let's get into another episode of Okay, so let's talk about, first of all, let's talk about this Tom Clancy universe that I have been going on about. Those of you might be familiar with the Tom Clancy stuff through the films, you know, the Hunt for Red October, Patriot Games, The Sum of All Fears, Clear and Present Danger. They're in the wrong order, but that's okay. You know, actors such as Alec Baldwin playing Jack Ryan, Harrison Ford playing Jack Ryan, Ben Affleck playing Jack Ryan, and in the TV series, John Krasinski playing Jack Ryan. Okay, arguably the most popular character that Tom Clancy did write, who ultimately goes on to become the President of the United States. I'm not going to go into details about the whole Tom Clancy Jack Ryan universe. I am going to say that the books, although kind of dated now because they were written around dealing with Russia in the Cold War era, and then the enemies kind of changed, they're fantastic. I cannot recommend them enough. The spy espionage, interweaving of plots. Tom Clancy really did have a fantastic grasp of how to write an espionage novel. And not only that, if you are interested in the military or the intelligence organizations that are behind this kind of thing, he goes into a lot of detail in that sort of stuff. And that has actually translated over since his passing. He has had other people pick up the novels. There's now kind of a branching series where there's the Jack Ryan series that follows like the main character of President Jack Ryan. And then there's the Jack Ryan Jr. series, which follows his son. And they're kind of interwoven, but not. You can read them as standalone novels and they work just fine. You can read them as a whole universe, which is the way I actually prefer to read them. And they go really well. Of course, those of you that are familiar with the Rainbow Six video games, that's Tom Clancy as well. He created the Rainbow Six kind of squad, which is part of the campus, which is part of this firm of financial analysts called Henley and Associates. I'm really diving down the rabbit hole here. I don't want to get into the whole Jack Ryan, Tom Clancy, Jack Ryan Jr. kind of universe. All I'm going to say is watch the movies, The Hunt for Red October, Patriot Games, Clear and Present Danger, The Sum of All Fears. Watch the Amazon TV series, the Jack Ryan. There's also the movie Shadow, the one with Chris Pine, with Kenneth Branagh as the villain. Fucking awesome. I took my wife and I took my dad to see that at the cinema years ago. My dad wasn't a cinema person. Fucking loved it. All I'm saying is the Tom Clancy universe is fantastic if you're into action, spy, espionage. These books have all of them combined. You've got the military aspect, you've got the espionage, the spy stuff, you've got the computer hacking kind of stuff to it. They appeal to a wide range of readers, and I cannot recommend them enough. As I've said in previous videos, I got into these kind of books to kind of connect with my father, fell in love with them. And actually, when I did a purge of my book collection, I kept every Tom Clancy novel that I had, and I've even ordered, you can see right here, I've got Tom Clancy Target Acquired, Tom Clancy Shadow of the Dragon. These are by two different authors, of course, but these are the newest ones in the series. And I also have a couple more down here, which follow on from the book that I'm going to talk about, which of course is Enemy Contact. I don't know where this fits into the Jack Ryan Jr. series. It might be book 8. I'm not too sure, but basically what you need to know about this book is the president's son, Jack Ryan Jr., works as a financial analyst for Henley and Associates. Henley and Associates, of course, is a cover for what is known as the campus, which President Jack Ryan set up as a special ops team that goes in and does the shit that America is not allowed to do. And it's fucking awesome. Yeah, if you're like me and like this kind of shit, which I do. I love the character of Jack Ryan Jr. As you see him over the course of the books, he grows from being just a financial analyst. He wants to be in the field. The Henley and Associates, these are characters that have been put through multiple books. So we know them as kind of badass CIA operatives, former CIA guys. You get a lot of recurring characters. You don't need to know who they all are. To be perfectly honest with you, the authors do a fantastic job of explaining that. These work well as standalone novels, especially this one. Enemy Contact. I want to read you the blurb of this book. Just the first paragraph of the blurb. The CIA's deepest secrets are being revealed as part of a larger plan that will undermine the entire Western intelligence community. That is true. Director of National Intelligence, Mary Pat Foley, a recurring character in the series, wants the leak stopped, but doesn't know who, how, or why. In Poland, Jack Ryan Jr. is dispatched on a mission that may provide some clues, but the sketchy trail dead ends in a harrowing fight. Jack barely escapes with his skin intact. Now, from the blurb, you think all of that happens at the beginning of the book. Sorry, folks, you're fucking shit out of luck. I did the math. That harrowing fight where Jack Jr. barely escapes with his life, 70% in. Basically, of a 468-page novel, you don't get that fight until page 329. What the fuck? Is that to say that the book is bad in any way? No, I fucking enjoyed this. It was brilliant. If you're a fan of financial forensic analysis of accounting on firms and stuff, that's 70% of this book. There are subplots, CIA hacks, leaks, security breaches. There is a mysterious figure called Chibi who is working behind the scenes to kind of sell a data encryption code to the highest bidder, be it Iran, Russia, or China, or whatever is the enemy of the month in this fucking series. Is it boring? No. It took me a while to read it because I had other stuff on my plate. I could probably sit down and knock out one of these books in about a day or two. The ending, a little contrived in my mind, but still entertaining as heck. And I did, based on basically starting this book, I ordered the next 4 in the series. So that's 2 more Jack Ryan Jr. novels and 2 more President Jack Ryan novels, because just based on the enjoyment I was getting from this book, I just really want to read how the series continues, and I've been a fan ever since. But if you're going to write a blurb, whoever wrote the fucking blurb to this fucking book, dude, don't give the fucking plot point 70% of the book before you get to what's just in the fucking blurb itself. To be fair, though, the blurb says a harrowing fight. It's fucking intense. The one problem I did have with this book, however, is the interweaving of 2 stories, and that is namely Jack Ryan Jr.'s friend has passed away from cancer, but on his deathbed, he makes Jack Ryan Jr. swear him a promise. And just before Jack Ryan Jr. is going to go and fulfill that promise, he gets called away by his boss to go and kind of explore this other thing in Poland, where the harrowing fight takes place 70% of the book in. And then after that fight, we kind of come back to this subplot, and that turns into something else that actually connects to the main story, and it was pretty fucking weak. But it was actually a really good turning point in the character of Jack Ryan Jr., so I'm going to give it a pass in this case. If anyone's reading this as a solo novel, they're probably going to think it's contrived and stupid. But if you do have an understanding of the character of Jack Ryan Jr., you will know that it actually kind of fits in with his persona. But that is my only complaint with this book. So that was Enemy Contact by Mike Maden, set in the Tom Clancy universe. If you're not a fan of action spy espionage books, don't read it. Simple as that. But if you are a fan and you are interested, don't start here. This is a fucking stupid place to start. Go back to The Hunt for Red October and read it in order so you get an understanding not just of the world that Tom Clancy was writing about, and it is very historically accurate for the time, which to me is absolutely fascinating, but it shows you the progression of how America sees their enemies. It's the Cold War. It's the war on drugs. It's Russia again. It's Japan. It's China. It's espionage, it's computer hacking, it's this, it's that. It's an absolutely fascinating journey if you are willing to take it. If you're not willing to take it, and I completely understand because each of these books is like fucking 500 pages long, and a lot of people want a quick read, and that's fine in this day and age. You want something you can kind of get through quickly. I get it. Then please watch the movies. Enjoy the movies for what they are. The Hunt for Red October, Sean Connery, Alec Baldwin. Watch Patriot Games with Harrison Ford is brilliant. Clear and Present Danger. I love The Sum of All Fears. I saw it like 3 times at the cinema. Ben Affleck as Jack Ryan was just great. Morgan Freeman as the president. It was just a great film. The John Krasinski series, and there's a new film. I believe it's John Clark as the kind of main character, and they kind of twisted a bit, but still a fantastic fucking watch. Without Remorse, I believe it's called. So please go and check that out. But if you're not interested by anything that I've said in this video, hey, that's all you. You know what you like. Go and enjoy what you like. And I suggest you know what? Drink a beer first. Read a fucking book, people.